If you want to build passive income, step number 1, have a ton of kids. Children are basically free labor, and if you steal somebody else's, you don't even have to buy them a Christmas present, thus saving you even more money to spend on hookers. Just so we're clear, that is a joke, and I'm not actually advocating for you or anyone else to have any children. Before the police get here, you have to understand that there is no actual passive income that exists. It doesn't. It's either semi-passive or active income that you actually have to work for. So this argument that you can just put in $100 now and you're going to withdraw $1,000 10 days later or some ridiculous nonsense is 100% of the time going to come from someone who's making a prediction, okay? There's predicting that this stock is going to go off, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're just making predictions and they don't really care about you or your money. They're just trying to scam you out of something, okay? So don't listen to people who are going to say, oh,
if you just buy this stock, if you just invest in this company, it's going to be enough passive income for you in the next 40 years for your grandchildren.
It's like, they're not, man, they're lying. I hate to tell you that, but it's the truth. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is real estate, like houses, apartments, those types of things. And I know that it sounds like a big purchase, and it is. But here's the thing, as far as passive income, the closest you can get to passive income is to simply maintain or pay somebody else to manage a property for you while renting it out to a tenant that basically pays off the loan that you have, the mortgage that you have on the house. As far as passive income is concerned, typically you're going to see a higher return on something like that than you would just buying a stock and waiting something like 10, 20 years for it to really pop off. Housing can be passive if you treat it right. There's a lot of people that will simply buy a home, right? They'll spend $2,000, they'll put down on some crappy $50,000 home. They rent it out for like $1,000. They never maintain anything on it. They leave everything up to their tenants. They destroy the place. They get a real bad taste in their mouth. They end up reselling the house. But the thing is, you can't do that long term. Those people are not going to take care of your house because they know, they have a sixth sense that you're not taking care of the house. You're not taking care of your business. Why the hell should they? And the point is, it is your house. You're just renting it out to these people. And if you want passive income, as close to passive as you can get, maintaining the property, keeping your tenants happy, and simply letting them pay off that loan or simply pay you something every single month is going to be the best form of passive income that you can possibly get. There's a reason that every single successful investor has some form of real estate in their portfolio because it works. It's a hedge against inflation. You don't necessarily have to worry about the housing market exploding or going down because here's the thing, you're buying it to rent out. So if the house goes up to $1 million that you bought for $100,000, I mean, you could sell it, sure, okay, but we are talking about passive income. Or here's the thing, you buy a house, it was worth $100,000, and now it's worth $50,000. Okay, and that's a hell of a crash. And by the way, when the housing market crashes, it takes just a few months, and it actually crashes and goes right back to the price that it was pre-crash. Okay, we've seen this happen twice in American history. So I'm telling you right now, you don't need to be worried about a crash or anything like that. It's just nonsense. It's made by these bears, bear being a stock market term for people who think that the world's going to end and whatever, but they still invest, which is weird. Anyway, those people are weird. Bull for life, baby. When you're talking about passive income, you cannot go wrong with housing if you do it right. Another thing about the real estate market that nobody really talks about is the ability to, once you've bought it, once you've got just a little bit of equity in it, right? 10, 20, 30%, something like that, you can borrow against it for really anything. An emergency is what most people think of first. But the thing is, if I wanted to start my own business and I needed a loan of $10, $20, $30,000, I am much more likely to get that loan if I can back it, if I can secure it against a house. Let me put it this way. It's going to be a lot easier for you to go to a bank and to withdraw some amount of money against your house than it is to just save up that money month after month after month after month. Point number 2, you need to open up your own business. And I know that sounds crazy because that's not passive income, but here's the thing, it could be one day. And that's what you're sort of trying to work towards, is that by the time you want to retire, and that could be in your 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s, whatever, you can have something to sort of fall back on, right? You're going to invest your time, not just in your business, but in hiring excellent managers, excellent people, making sure that your customer base is exactly what you understand and what you know. And it's when you can put all of those things in order that you know how to delegate, that you've hired these fantastic people who can run your business for you, that you really just need to check in and you need to make sure they're doing their jobs. You need to make sure inventory's there. And that's about it. And I'm not talking necessarily about a multi-tiered, multi-million dollar business. I am just talking about a mom and pop shop. I'm talking about you want to open up your own restaurant, you want to do things like this. Basically, you want to get to the point where you can have somebody else managing your business and hopefully someday even have that business passed off to your kids if something were to happen to you, or a protege. Doesn't of course have to be your own children. You can leave behind something that you built. All that to say, look, you want to have that business managed well enough to where you can leave for the day and not think that it's going to be burned down. What I'm saying is you can leave behind a name for yourself that goes beyond money. I think there's even a Bible verse that says it's better to have a good name than a bunch of riches or something like that. And I'm paraphrasing, so Jesus forgive me if I messed that up. For the last point in this video, I want to make it as sort of an anti-point, if that makes any sense. I want you guys to stay away from the stock market, okay? When it comes to passive income solely, all right? There's nothing wrong with investing in the stock market. I do it too, but here's the thing. What I primarily get are a bunch of kids who want to sort of make their first move into the world, okay? And I think we do a disservice when we tell those types of people, when we tell those kids to just invest in the stock market, save your money, blah, blah, blah. Now, look, it's true that you need capital, but you don't need capital to invest in the stock market, right? So in other words, if you come to me and you're a kid, you're just an average dude, all right? And you have $10,000 and you say, where should I invest it? I will never tell you the stock market, okay? Because you actually want to do some shit. You actually want to do something. You actually want to start a business, right? You actually want to make your move in the world. You want to open up your own shop. You want to open up your own restaurant. You want to go into business with you and your buddies overseas. You want to do something really cool, and none of that involves the stock market, okay? The stock market you can kind of view as your own 401k, your own savings plan, way down the road. At least that's how I view it, and that's how I advise other people to view it as well. Because the stock market is not for sudden wealth. Now, you can treat it like a betting scheme, and that's fine if you allocate the funds for that. Typically speaking, your first 10 grand, your first 20 grand that you're ready to make your move on this world is not going to be the stock market. And because of that, I sort of try to shift people away from that level of thinking. You want to build something up, then you want to delegate managers under yourself, not to necessarily take work off of you, but because you want to work on something else. You're there to build something else. You're there to make the big decisions to scale that business, to scale that investment up higher and higher and higher. And in order to do that, you've got to uncouple yourself from this thinking that you've got to physically do everything with your hands and be totally hands-on. You've got to at first, usually. But when it comes to actually building your business, profiting from it, and then scaling it, you've got to learn how to delegate and train managers to take on those roles and to take up that responsibility to help you along the way. Make sure you pay them. Make sure you pay them well, because a well-paid person is going to do way more for you in your business than somebody you can just get away with paying a few bucks. So to sum up this video, learn how to delegate, learn how to scale. Then you'll get some passive income. I promise you it's a totally different world when you can do that. The easiest way to do it, I think, is real estate. Second easiest way to do that is to build your own business. With all that being said, I appreciate you watching. Let me know if you did get something out of this video, or let me know if there's something that I may have missed. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.